My dear friends, I'd like to begin this homily for the funeral service of Thelma, whom I knew for a very long time. I'd like to begin this homily with the words of Steve Jobs, who was the CEO and co-founder of Apple Inc., who died in 2011 of neuroendocrine cancer. He said, "No one wants to die. Even people who want to go to heaven don't want to die to get there. And yet, death is the destination we all share. No one has ever escaped it, and that is how it should be, because death is very likely the single best invention of life. It's life's change agent. It clears out the old to make way for the new." And Saint Mother Teresa, talking about death, she says, "Death is nothing but going home to God. The bond of love will be unbroken for all eternity." My dear friends, we are in the midst of a deadly pandemic of the coronavirus. Some time ago, we were not even able to hold funeral services in the church. But we have got this privilege today to bid our last and final farewell to Thelma, who was a mother to her children, a grandmother to Dwayne and Danny, a mother-in-law to Vance, and a friend to all of us. This pandemic has caused a fear psychosis among people. People are afraid to move. People are afraid to meet one another. We have got used to the new normal, wearing of masks, keeping safe distance, taking medicines that will increase our immunity, and people are frightened. The fear of death has gripped almost every person in the world. And everyone is so frightened. I may get this virus. I may die. Everyone is gripped with this fear of death. Yesterday evening, I was in Thelma's house. And when I was looking around, I saw Thelma's two small grandsons. One was busy playing with a biblet. Biblet is like a top. He was tossing it, throwing it on the floor, and he was busy playing with that biblet. And someone asked him, "What about your granny?" And he said, "She's sleeping. She will wake up tomorrow." But he kept on playing. He wasn't frightened. He had no fear of anything. What he knew that his dad and mom are around. He's safe. And so he had the freedom to run around and to play, even though the mortal remains of Thelma were placed in the hall room. My dear friends, we live in this world with the fear of death. And at times, we forget how to live. I learned a beautiful lesson from Dwayne. Not to fear anything, do the thing that you want to do. That reminds me of a little anecdote. You know, there was a cruise liner ship that was sailing with hundreds of people on it. And as the ship was sailing, it was caught in a storm. Heavy waves were beating against the ship. You know, the cruise liners are huge ships carrying thousands of people. There were old people, young people, all were there sitting on the deck. The ship was being tossed, the waves beating on the ship. And there was a little boy, like Dwayne, running on the deck up and down. And he was playing with a tennis ball, lobbing it all around, running from one end to the other. And people were seated on the deck with belts around their waist. And one old lady, she drew the attention of this young little boy. And she said, "Son, are you not frightened? The ship is tossing. We may all go down." And the boy told this old lady, he says, "Why should I be frightened? The captain of the ship is my father. I don't not need to be frightened. I know my dad will take our ship to safety." My dear friends, when Thelma was admitted in the hospital, everyone was worried. Ryan was going up and down, trying his level best, telling the doctors to do the best. He left no stone unturned. He says, "Do whatever is possible to keep my mother alive." Anita, with her rosary group and so many friends, was storming heaven. Nothing changed. Why? Because God said, "I am in control. I have taken control of Thelma's life. I'm giving you the freedom to do your best, to try everything. But I am in control. I am in control of this situation." Because he knew, and he knew that he couldn't allow Thelma to suffer anymore. My dear friends, God loved Thelma. I can tell you this with guarantee, because even though Thelma was suffering, God provided her with beautiful angels to take care of her. In the house, she had Manka, who was so devoted and committed to her. She had Agnel, who would drive her around. She had Shevanta, Mary, to take care of her, besides Ryan and Vanessa and Anita and the rest of the family. God loved her even through her suffering. And God is the one who provided the help necessary required so that Thelma could be looked after lovingly. But in the end, God said, "I am in control. I want to take Thelma from the land of the dying to the land of the living." In this world, as Steve Jobs says, everyone will die. Nobody will escape death. Because death is going home to God. That is all where we all long to go. Everyone has a longing, a desire to be with the Father in heaven. And so death is the doorway. Death opens the door to a new life. In this life we will all die. But when we enter eternal life, we will all be living in the presence of God. My dear friends, the first reading, St. Paul tells us that everyone's death affects us. The death of Thelma has affected not only Ryan, Vanessa, Vance, Dwayne, Daniel, and the family. It affects the community because she was part of this cathedral community. And that is the reason why we have all come here this evening to pray for Thelma and to pray for her family. Because her death has an effect on all of us. And Thelma also has made an impact on our lives. You know, Martha, Mary, and Lazarus, they were good friends of Jesus. They were close friends. And Martha, when she saw Jesus, she says, Lord, if you were here, my brother would not have died. Imagine Martha and Mary might have said, what kind of a fellow? He was coming to our home so many times. He had meals with us. He was in Bethany, close by. He could have come and kept Lazarus alive. And Jesus told her, your brother will rise again. And she said, I know, Lord, at the resurrection, he will rise again. And Jesus says, I am the resurrection and the life. You know, on the Jamboti Road, many buses go to Goa and they come from Goa. And one of the travels that goes regularly up and down is Paulo Travels. And I saw Paulo Travels this morning. At the back of the bus, it was written, Jesus is the way to eternal life. What a powerful witness to tell people wherever the bus goes, everyone will be reading, Jesus is the way to eternal life. Everyone will be thinking, who is this Jesus? Who is this man who can take us to eternal life? Thelma believed in Jesus. She attended Mass. She received Jesus in Holy Communion. She believed that Jesus is the way to the resurrection, to eternal life. And so today all of us who believe and we hope in our own resurrection, believe that Thelma is enjoying eternal life. You know, Paul also tells us that we will all be standing before God for judgment. And what is the criteria that we will all be judged? Love of God and love of neighbor. And Thelma will be facing the judgment, and God will see all the beautiful things that she has done in her life. That she loved God and that she loved her neighbor. To share with you a few thoughts about Thelma. She was a teacher by profession, but she was a perfectionist. She demanded perfection from the teachers as well as her students. Thelma was a wonderful cook. She cooked lovely food. She was very innovative, always tried upon new recipes, new things. She always wanted her house to look beautiful. She was a lovely person, loving, kind, generous. And one of the rare qualities that I have observed in her, that whenever any death occurred in the parish community, she would always reach out by sending food to the family, because she knew they were in trouble that day. And she would reach out. Thelma was a wonderful mother to her children, Ryan and Vanessa. And unfortunately, she lost Royston at a very tender age, after which she took a great shock, and through which she got diabetes. She was a very loving wife to Joe. And Joe cared for Thelma. He loved her. He did everything possible, especially when Thelma was sick in the States. She's a doting grandmother of these two little boys who are here, Dwayne and Danny. A loving mother-in-law to Vance. And in these last days, what she enjoyed most, the little joy that she experienced, was to see her grandsons on the video call. She would be thrilled to hear them say poetries. She would love to listen to them and put questions. That was the joy that she experienced in these days when she was homebound. As I said, God truly loved Thelma abundantly. She gave her many blessings. She gave her a wonderful family. Her sister-in-laws, her brother-in-laws, they were so close-knit. So much they were worried about Thelma, caring for her. And finally, Thelma had the privilege of having this final farewell ceremony in the cathedral with the bishop, Bishop Derek, and so many priests to bid her farewell, including the whole parish community that is present here. I want to conclude my homily. You know, this is a post that I received some time ago on the WhatsApp. It says, "Parents don't die." People say that when parents die, the world comes to an end. The house looks empty, but I feel that parents live forever and they stay with us. The matter of fact is that a brother has eyes of his beloved father. A sister has the pretty face like the compassionate mother. A sibling smiles like dad, or a sister cooks like mom. Parents don't die. They never leave us. They live among us. They live in us. We are the reflections of our parents. When you want to see them, when you want to be with them, simply gather your siblings around you. You will find the mesmerizing smile of the mother in one sibling, the soothing voice of the father in another. You will feel the parents very close to you, all around you, deep inside you. The garden of love that parents cultivate and grow with love. From the time that you are born, with hard work of their tears and blood, it will continue to bloom, unaffected by the cycles of tough weathers of life. They shelter us in tough times. Parents don't die. Ryan and Vanessa, Vance, Dwayne and Danny, and the whole family, you have another intercessor now in heaven along with Joe, who will storm the heavens with their prayers for you who are on this earth, for your progress, for your safety. May Thelma rest in peace.